About to be very vulnerable in sharing a part of my past where my faith, life, and purpose was definitely tested. Now, I'm going to be talking about, pouring from an already empty cup. Now, of course, this is from a metaphorically speaking point because we all know it's impossible to physically draw from anything that isn't present. We know that. So as a child and even into my teenage and adult years, some of the things that I struggled with was depression, rejection, abandonment, suicidal thoughts and attempts, anger. I didn't trust people, let alone my family. And I just wanted to feel loved, accepted, and appreciated. So that's why it's very important that we listen to God and heed his warnings, because he's sovereign and he sees what we can't see. He knows what we don't know, because he's the creator of all humanity and creation. So he knows the beginning, middle, and ending of all things and people. And I'm not going to give every detail of my life with, my ex-husband, because that would take forever. So just know that, we were 22 when we got involved. I got pregnant when I was 23, and then we decided to get married. Now, he had lost both of his parents, his mother when he was 14 to breast cancer, and his father when he was 18 to cancer. So after losing both of his parents, no one wanted to take him in, and his younger brother. So what did they experience? Rejection, anger, abandonment. Don't that sound familiar, y'all? Which was some of the things that I had battled. So remember, once again, I told you, you draw what's in you. Both of us were already two broken people. We couldn't give each other what we needed to produce a healthy marriage. And now we added becoming parents to our 3 kids on top of that. So we were married for 9 years, and my kids and I suffered greatly. When I tell you we went through it, he was heavily addicted to crack and alcohol. He never kept a job. He was in and out of jail and chose the streets over his family. So in hindsight, I see now that it was just impossible for him to provide something that he just didn't have within himself to give. I would always think back on how those 9 years, those 9 years that I can't get back, because, it is what it is. I can't get them back, but I always would think back on how my life would have turned out if I had listened and heeded the warning of God. And what I love about God is that he'll take what was meant to break you and for your bad and turn it around and produce great things from it. And those 3 great blessings were my kids. And I truly believe that they are angels that God used me as a vessel to get here in this earth, because he knew what I needed in my life of turmoil and brokenness. And now I'm 46 years old now, and I've made it my mission that I want to be a beacon of light and hope in the lives of those that are struggling and lost in darkness. God has delivered, healed, and set me and my kids free. Well, they're not kids anymore. They're now some young adults. But, God has set us free, and now I choose to help free others. So remember, in closing, remember all this. You draw what's in you, and God is the only one that can fill your cup, fill any voids in your life, and make you whole.